Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bundesliga Fantasy Show. We are here for one last dance, one last time of this calendar year to look ahead to match week 15 of the Bundesliga to provide you with all the best hints and tips from a fantasy football perspective. Joined once more by Rune. How are you, sir? Looking quite festive in the corner there with your Christmas tree.
Says it all really. I think one last time before the Christmas break. Looking forward to one last round of fixtures and then a bit of a break. Can't hurt, I think. Although I'm sure I'm going to miss the Bundesliga during the break. One last weekend of action. So looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be a shame when it comes to an end, but I think, everyone from a journalistic content creation point of view will enjoy a brief break and then be very much raring to go in the new year. Looking forward to this show. Obviously got the usual round of budget, mid-price and premium picks for defender, midfielders and strikers. Of course, we will take questions as and when they come in the live chat. We have had some questions and comments prior to across socials, so we'll pick those up as well. So thank you all for that. So all there is left to say, one last time this year is to make sure that you like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Do make sure you check out our good friends, of course, Bulinews, over on socials and of course the website. Rune has just finished off a really interesting article and piece of work. If you want to plug that, Rune, before we crack on.
Yeah, sure. I wrote a longer piece about the Bundesliga, the league's intention to try to go out on different markets and be present from an international perspective. So I talked to the Bundesliga and to a representative from FC Bayern and one from Leipzig. Actually, I spoke to David Wagner, former Huddersfield coach, who's now an academy manager at RB Leipzig, and they've arranged a tournament in cooperation with the Bundesliga that is taking place in the US, an ongoing one with some qualification rounds and then one big final next year. And they're offering some prizes to the players. For example, Leipzig offer trials for 2 players at their academy. And it's actually a really fun format for a competition. It's 1v1, so very technical and very intense. There's a video on YouTube from the first qualifier. There's an article out on Bulinews now about that tournament and their overall aim to try to reach the US market and grow their fan base there, especially ahead of the World Cup. That makes a lot of sense. So that's some of the stuff they're talking about in the article.
It does, it's really interesting. I enjoyed reading it, all about that, and makes complete sense. And a great audience and fan base that lies in North America particularly. So that's excellent stuff. Great. Well, we'll crack on then with the show. Just before we do start with the defender picks, someone reached out to us on social media on our Instagram page and had a question for us in regards to goalkeepers. So I wanted to pick this up first, Rune, and it was from Matty. Let me just make sure I get his name right. Matty Ackerman got in touch just saying that he very much enjoys our content, and he's got a question for us, which is, which goalkeeper would you recommend me for the upcoming match week? So Rune, I wonder if you could help Matty out with some goalkeeper picks there just quickly.
I think Bats from Mainz is an excellent option. He's been really impressive, I think, since he's come into the starting 11, and even against Bayern last week, as we sometimes see it, he had an amazing game and got a lot of points, more than 300 points as far as I remember. So he's a really good option for the price. Apart from him, I think Backhouse from Werder did well for me last time out. I didn't have bets. Was a bit disappointed to see he did so well, but then Backhouse actually picked up a good return as well, and should be a tight game against Augsburg. His price is quite low as well, so I like those two budget picks. Should both do pretty well this week, I assume.
Yep, lovely stuff. I'll pop that in the comments as well for you, Matty. So hopefully that helps. And thank you for the message and question, and good luck picking your goalkeeper. Righty-ho, we will crack on with the usual format then with defenders to start with. So budget, mid-price and premium. So over to yourself, Rune, to run through them all.
Yeah, thanks. Budget pick this week at the back is Jan Kuto from Borussia Dortmund. His price is still quite low. Dortmund have some problems at the back, a few injuries. So it looks like he'll be given the start. We'll know if he starts or not anyway, because we can see the lineup. And if he does, I think he's always an interesting option from a fantasy perspective, because of his very attack-minded style. Really likes to come forward, and it is a game that you would expect Dortmund to dominate. Could see Gladbach maybe sitting back a bit and trying to grind out a result and hit them on the counter. So could be a good game, I think, for Kuto and Dortmund. And then as my mid-price pick is actually more of a budget pick, and another budget pick actually. But Gjerulff from Augsburg is a player that I've been keeping an eye on for some time now. Fantasy-wise, especially, he's been producing some really good returns lately, and contributed with both goals and assists. And even last week, he also did quite well. So he's on a really good streak at the moment, and Augsburg are playing a Werder side in a lot of trouble at the moment. They're winless in the last 4, and they have some injuries as well to care about. So I think looks like could be a close game, but either way, I could see Gjerulff do well in that game. Just seems like he's very well suited for the game and for the rules in terms of picking up points consistently. And then finally, my premium pick is Kaiju Sano. Maybe a bit of a gamble, not a typical premium pick, but I think mines have improved lately. Obviously, they got that result against Bayern, had a bit of luck on their side as well, but nevertheless, they got a draw there, and nobody expected that, and I'm sure that must have been a big boost for them. And they're actually playing in Europe tonight. I don't know how that will go yet, but we'll see. Maybe draw some conclusion based on that as well. But at least now, at the moment, I think it looks like a game that Mainz really need to win. They're playing St. Pauli at home. They're coming into the game with some confidence. They're getting Amiri back in central midfield as well. Sano is a midfielder. In real life, he's a defender in the game, and sometimes that can be a big advantage to be a defender, but actually play as a midfielder, because he's very involved in the middle of the park, and he gets most of his points from duels won. Didn't do particularly well in the Bayern game, which isn't a big surprise, but actually the game before that, he had a really good game and got, I think, 230 points just from duels won alone, and got more than 300 total. So I think he could be an interesting differential. Been performing pretty solidly all season, despite the fact that Mainz have struggled, and now they really need a win, and they'll probably be a bit more on the ball this week, and Sano should be very involved either way.
Indeed, he should. Yes, a big game for Mainz this weekend, and potential for someone like Sano to cash in from a fantasy perspective. Thank you for those, Rune. Couple of points to work through then before we move on. I think a few points that Friend of the show, Gavin, has mentioned on socials and in the chat. So we'll pick these up for you now. Before we do, last week, someone on socials came up with a headline for our show, which is quite a good one. FPL Bromley on socials has done another one for us tonight, and he's gone with. You have to let me know what you make of this one, Rune. Upside of bargain bats stops buying in tracks.
Nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, we like that. So great shout out there for you, FPL Bromley. Very, very good indeed. And like I say, we'll have to maybe make you head of content creation for 2026. Lovely stuff. So over to you, Gavin, and some of your questions and points. And I know either yesterday or the day before you made tagged myself and Rune on socials in regards to, if I can find it, here we are. I think there's just some stories going around, a lot of AFCON players, and this one was in regards to Edmund Tapsoba. So Gavin was asking whether it makes Tapsoba a viable pick for this weekend, and if we've heard from any other sources that all AFCON players will be turning out for Leverkusen this weekend as well. Me and Cam were kind of half debating this a little bit, but we're not maybe as close to the beat as you are, Rune. So what do you know about Tapsoba and indeed more Leverkusen players alike that might be AFCON bound?
Well, I saw a post on X in French, I think, stating that Tapsoba would be available for Leverkusen, but there's been no mention of that in German anywhere from what I've seen. No German sources have reported that. On the contrary, they've reported that he'll not be available, that he's already traveled to play for Burkina Faso at the AFCON, and Masa is not available either for them. So two big absences there. Benzekir is also unavailable, a sub, but nevertheless they have a lot of players out, either through injury or suspension or because of AFCON. They will have Kofane available up front. He's been given permission by Cameroon to travel later. So he'll play for them, which is a big boost because Patrick Schick is still a big doubt, also because of the injury he picked up against Newcastle. So from how it looks now, from what I've read in German media, Kofane will be available, the others won't. So that means, they'll be missing a few key players against Leipzig.
Yep, lovely stuff. And then Gavin's also put in the chat here, and similarly another post on socials. So we'll pick up the one in the live chat first, and then see if we answered both for you. So I'll put it on screen here. Gavin's asked any lowly owned players who you think might surprise us all and hold this weekend. Budget not important, as I have loads of cash, but it's getting increasingly tricky to find differentials. Indeed, Rune, obviously a couple of players that you've mentioned already, the likes of maybe Giannoulis and crikey, who was your first pick? I'm waiting for it to come back on screen now. Jan Koto, I guess he's differential-ish. Anyone else come to mind?
Yeah, in midfield, there's a lot of players. I'm going to mention a few of them after this, but a few others that I won't mention in a minute. Fabian Rieder from Augsburg, for example, on penalties for them. I don't think he's looked as good lately as earlier in the season, where he played a really big part under Wagner. Nevertheless, I think he's proven often enough what he's capable of, and it is a key match for Augsburg at home. So I really like him. Let me see where picture. Okay, Jasung Lee from Mainz, for example, is another player I've looked at. His price is quite low. Just scored against Bayern. So another Mainz midfielder that could potentially pay off in that vital game against St. Pauli at home. And then I've actually had Mansambi from Freiburg for weeks, and he's been really consistent for me. Difficult game to call against Wolfsburg away because of the way Wolfsburg have played lately and the fact that they've just won 2 games. If you look at Wolfsburg, you could consider someone like Patrick Wimmer, for example, who's really showed what he can do lately and is in great form at the moment. So that's another differential for you. And I still have a few left in midfield and up front that I'll mention later in the show.
Yeah, exactly that. Thank you for those questions, Gavin. I think the one that you've asked on socials will pick up in a sec for you after we've gone through this next section, which of course next up is midfielders. So again, Rune, back over to yourself to run through those 3 picks of yours.
Yeah, thanks. Starting off with Leonard Carl, no big surprise, I guess, but his ownership is still just 12%, maybe partly because of the rule that you can only play 3 Bayern players at the same time. So maybe some players opted for Kane and Olise and maybe Gnabry up front, which is also very fair. But still, given his price, I think Carl is an option. A great option. Should start again this week. He scored against Mainz last match day. And especially now with Michael Olise seemingly a big doubt, that should mean that Carl will get another chance if he misses out. And even if Olise plays, should still have a great chance. And at that price, playing against Heidenheim for Bayern in an attacking role and in form, he's it's just a great pick for the price. Then my mid-price pick is Said Almala. Had a quiet game against Bayer Leverkusen, was forced up with a knock. But he is a player that can always make a difference. And Köln are playing at home against Union Berlin. I know Union just beat Leipzig, but they've been pretty inconsistent. This will be a very different type of game for them. I don't think they'll sit back as much as they did against Leipzig. Köln are a very different sort of opponent. Either way, I think Almala has the qualities to cause some damage against them. He can cause damage against any side, as we've seen already this season, and his price still quite low. Another good player in that price bracket. I have a few players I really like there, so it will be difficult to decide who to pick. But Carl and Almala, difficult to go wrong with them, I think. And then finally, Paul Nebel is my premium pick. Again, not really a premium pick, but another Mainz midfielder I wanted to mention. Amiri is another great option, of course, a bit more expensive. Just wanted to mention Nebel. He's coming back from suspension. Obviously he was a really important player for Mainz last season in attack. Had a hand in a lot of goals for them. So it will be a big boost for them to get him back. And as I already mentioned earlier, looks like a game that Mainz will target a win in against St. Pauli at home. They've recently been playing a bit better and had some positive experiences that may give them a boost. And I think Nebel could potentially pay off just 2% ownership right now.
Yep, lovely stuff. Some good picks in there, like you say. Some more differentials, to kind of put out this weekend. If you're in the mood for gambling, the last weekend of the year as well, and you want to try and play catch up with your friends, or even in our league. Lovely stuff. So we'll go through some more points and questions here. So let's grab this one first of all from Confucian Brewer. I hope I'm saying that half right. I do apologize if I've butchered it. Question about Baumgartner. keep or drop versus Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, the top spiel, big game this weekend. Rune want to look forward to, but yeah, whether to keep or sell Baumgartner is the big question here.
It's actually it's a funny game because both sides have so many injuries. It's actually a bit of a shame that neither side can field their best team. Obviously, Leipzig have Diomande traveling to the AFCON. Romelu is still not fully fit. Bakayoko is a big doubt. Ouedraogo is out. So they have some big notable absences as well. So it's not just Leverkusen. But with that said, I still think Leverkusen are in a worse position given the absences they have to deal with. Also the fact that they have to put some players into the starting lineup maybe who haven't really played that much lately. Someone like Belocian, for example, looks like he'll get a start at the back, and he hasn't played a lot lately. So should be an interesting game. Could see both teams getting on the score sheet here, and I wouldn't sell Baumgartner, especially because of the many absences that Leverkusen will have to deal with. And if you look at that back line, looks like there's a goal for Leipzig in that game, at least one.
Indeed. And yes, rumours are plenty about lots of player injuries and concerns ahead of this match week. Garcia is also one of them, as you mentioned, Elise as well, and plenty of others that are already confirmed as injured. Do we think that he'll start in midfield, or will Leverkusen maybe need to bring in reinforcements in that position as well?
Garcia does have a knock and also missed training. So yeah, more than just a rumor actually, but difficult to say. He has to be in training tomorrow, I think, to have a chance of playing. So we'll have to wait and see until tomorrow. They definitely need him because if he's not playing, before he picked up that knock, it looked like it would be him playing alongside Tillman in central midfield. Because Andrik is needed at the back and can't play there, and Marsa is out. Icky Fernandez is probably not ready for the starting 11 yet. He's one of those players that they have coming back from injury, but he hasn't played since returning to full training. So yeah, we have to wait and see. But yeah, Garcia is one to keep an eye out for as well. And let's see if Hjulmand helps us out at the press conference this time, or last time with Grimaldo, there was no mention of that injury, or that we all knew that he would get a rest occasionally, and that they also said that it maybe been overplayed a bit, but that happened quite out of nowhere, that he was moved out of the squad for that important game against Köln. So we'll have to wait and see, but he's a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully that helps you there. Gavin, with a quick question about what our current ranks in our mini league. Gavin's up to 13 first. That's really good. Crikey. Bear with me, Gavin. I will find out for you. We will reveal all the end of the year reveal.
I'm 26th at the moment, so
okay.
Could be better, but also could be worse. My overall rank is 183, so says something about the quality in our league again. The fact that I'm 26th in the league.
That's insane. I was just hoping and praying that I was in the top 200, and I am. I'm 199th. So there we are. So yes, well done me. I think we all know who the expert on the show is. Well done, Gavin. You're doing really well. And hopefully the advice that Rune is sharing will help you do even better just before we get onto the winter break. Lovely stuff. Right, we will finish, of course, with our striker picks, with Rune's striker picks. So your 3 picks are now on screen. Let's run through those.
Starting off with Tidjam Gomis from Leipzig. who came on to score last week against Union, and who will now most likely get a start with Diomande away at the Africa Cup of Nations, and Bakayoko a big doubt. Really surprised me if he doesn't start. And as you can see, his price is just 1.3 million, and his ownership is 0%. So he's a really cheap differential if you need someone capable of making a difference while also being available for a really low price. I think he's a really interesting shout this week against an injury and suspension and AFCON hit Leverkusen defense. And my mid-price pick is Karim Adeyemi. We can see Dortmund starting 11, which is a big advantage, of course. So we can see if he's starting. Can be a bit difficult to call if he starts or not these days with Kovac. But if he does, I think for that price, he's a quite interesting option. Always capable of making a difference and hurting any defense when he's at his best. And it is a game that I personally expect Dortmund to win. Don't think Gladbach have looked as good lately, and also they have to deal with a lot of injuries, especially one for Frank Honorat, which is hurting them a lot because it's a big part of what worked for them. I think that's been taken out of their play with him out, sort of running behinds that he made, and the dynamic qualities he has. Also, just on a side note, I think Serhou Guirassy is also an option. I mean, not looked at his best lately. We all know that, and he's going through a rough period at the moment. But nevertheless, that's also seen his price fall to, I think, around 16.5 million. And it is a home game. He's playing up front for Dortmund, and if he gets a goal, you never know what can happen. So just wanted to mention him as well. Would be a gamble, of course, in his current form, but maybe something that's worth considering as an alternative to Adeyemi, nevertheless. And then finally, my premium pick is Luis Diaz, he's missed the last 2 games for Bayern through suspension. So we pretty much know he will start this one against Heidenheim. Great matchup for Bayern. They will be looking to bounce back from the disappointing result against Mainz last time. And Diaz has averaged a goal involvement per game in the Bundesliga this season. So just very involved and nailed on starter. If you're looking to sell Diomande, for example, you can see if you can find a space for Diaz. Maybe you want to sell Gnabry to have a completely certain starter, and you certainly get that in Diaz. So would be great to have him alongside Harry Kane up front this week, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Very logical pick there, it seems. For the champions. So that rounds up the striker picks. I don't think there's any more questions. Certainly in the live chat right now. I don't think I've missed anything on socials either. I know Gavin was just asking about players in particular that are likely to be missing from an injury point of view. I think we pretty much covered that. The likes of Garcia, Elise, Grimaldo, as well, and putting in differential picks, which obviously we've mentioned all the way through the show.
I actually think Grimaldo will play this week, just to make that completely clear. I'd be surprised if he doesn't, because I think he was given another rest last week because he's been overplayed. He's been playing too many minutes, despite maybe having a bit of an ongoing problem. Just seemed like he was really tired and needed not just one break but 2. But now I think they're in a different position. He's just had a week's rest, and they're playing a really important game against one of their rivals, the top of the table. Also, they have a long winter break afterwards. So at least at the moment, and especially also with all the other players missing, I think it looks like he'll start, and I'd expect him to. But again, let's wait and see tomorrow if we are wiser after Hjulmand's press conference and Leverkusen's last training session. But yeah, just wanted to make that clear. I think he'll start this week, but let's wait and see tomorrow, of course.
Let's do it indeed. Thank you for that. Perfect. So that's us rounded up for tonight's show, and yeah, for the fantasy show for this calendar year. So I just double checking. Oh, quick question in here. Let's pick that one up. Want to be making sure we get everything in. From Kuba Blien. Would you give Grimaldo the star? I guess obviously confidence is relative on his starting position, and yeah, tough matchup versus Leipzig, but both teams have got the potential to score points big, haven't they? I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, what will they do if he's not fit enough to start? Because Belosian is needed at the back in the 3-man back line. Looks like Poco will miss out as well. So of course they can play him if he's not fit enough, but I think for this game, he'll probably even if he's not feeling 100% fit, I think he'll maybe say, okay, I can play the game anyway, because of the situation they're in. He's just so badly needed at the moment. If I'd give him the star, yeah, that's a tough call. I'd have to be 100% sure of him starting to do that, because otherwise I would just give it to one of the players I'm certain about, someone like Rasmus Christensen from Frankfurt, for example, who's playing against HSV and doing well on a consistent basis. Mittelstedt, if you have him in your squad, playing at home against Hoffenheim, it's another good alternative. Yeah, in principle, you could go with one of the Dortmund options like Jan Kuto as well, because at least if he'll start. You can see the lineup, and so you'll be absolutely sure there. But yeah, let's wait and see. If I'm certain, if Grimaldo is past fit by Hjulmand and Hjulmand says, hey, he'll definitely start, and he's always worth considering for the start. But if not, probably willing to consider going with someone else just to avoid getting disappointed one more time, because that's already happened a few times this season with Grimaldo.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tricky one, that for sure. Hopefully we helped you out a small amount there. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, like I say, thank you to everyone that's watched with us this whole year through. Big thank you to you, Rune, as well, for your support this season, last season, the entire year, your amazing picks and work that happens behind the scenes that I know that you do, and everyone else obviously, no doubt appreciates a whole bunch as well. Big thank you to the community that we have on the show as well. Your questions, your comments, your support makes the show what it is. So again, big thanks to you all for that. So yeah, we go again strong in 2026. I hope everyone has a great break. We will be back one more time before we finish and close play on the channel for the year. We'll review match week 15 on Monday night. So looking forward to that. We'll see what other kind of content we might deliver for you during that Christmas break. We'll see what availability we will have. I'm looking forward to a very large break myself personally, and I'm sure Rune is as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching and participating with us. Good luck this weekend. Enjoy the footy when it comes, and we'll catch you on Monday to review it all. Cheers all.
Bye.